Hello everyone, I'm Greg, and welcome back to another playthrough, and we are going to be doing Thunderstone Quest Barricade Mode Co-op, and there's been a request out there for how do you actually set up an entire game of Barricade Mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the entire process of how to set the game up. In order to do that though, I need to show you how my boxes are set up. And they are very specific in how they are put in the box here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this box first, and then we will go through this box. So I'll put that box to the side, and I will open this box up here. Alright, so I've opened up the box, and this is what we have on top. Is we have a little shelf here, and for this shelf we've got the tray container that holds the blood, the experience, the iron rations, lanterns, and potions. I also have the turn counter with the potions so I can easily see it. So we will put that to the side here for a moment. I also have here the dice. So I just put all the dice in one tray. And then we also have the damage chits that are the advanced version of it. And that's in there as well. I got foams in here for cards if I ever need them. There's 3 in here, that's plenty. I also have stickers in here too. I've got Ripples in Time card list as well if I want that too. So I will put this to the side. And now this box is strictly cards. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you can get a better view of it. Alright, so for this box, it has all of my cards in here. It has all of the quest lines except number 2 is in this box. So on the left side here, they are all heroes. So you have Honor Main here, we have Linsha here, we have Aird, Baron, Dark Rend, and this is alphabetical order. So as long as I put it back to where they belong, it's very easy to find where I'm looking for and who I'm looking for. So I put all my heroes on the left side in alphabetical order. For the second row, second from the left, are my monsters. And now these are organized by levels. So here we have level 1s, Bog Zombies here, the Kobold Skirmishers here, and they're outlined here. I have a couple here that have the rank right here of rank 1, and that's where it starts. Where it ends is also rank 1. So everything in between these two are level 1 monsters. And so on and so forth for level 2. And then level 3 is in the back. Now in front of the level 1 monsters, I have the Guardians. In front of that is the Guardian Keys. I had the Festering Wounds, Guardian Guides, and Curses, as well as Spare Adventures, as that's where I had to put them right now. I could have put them over here, and I'll explain that in a moment. Over here, we have our spells, items, and weapons, and it molds over here as well because there's just not enough room. And then these are also alphabetized. So I can quickly go and find which spell I need, which weapon I need as soon as possible, but in their correct area. So this is my last spell. So here forward are all spells. So here we have Amulet of Infravision, all the way to the Wand of Illumination is right here. And then we start here with Battle Axe. It goes here. And then it ends right here with a little section. So it ends with a 2-handed sword. Then lastly, this last column, we have in the back here the player cards. So we have their starting decks for players 1 through 6. And then back here is Barricade Mode starter cards. So in here, in the front, I have my Thunderstone staffs here, Briceptum, Joba, Thunderstone pieces, and continue so that they're set up, ready to find what cards I need. And I will put these back to where they belong. I also have a few extra sleeves just in case I need them if one breaks or need to change one out for any reason. So I'll put these in the back. Then in between here I have my randomizers. So it's just one card of each. Here's my randomizers as well, right here. This is also for Epic versions. So it's just one extra card here I got from the Kickstarter. I don't have all the cards though, but if I needed to, I could just bring one over and bring them over there. And then I also have the guild sponsorships, legendary cards with the side quest, and then I have the treasure cards. And then I also have a little smaller foam piece right here. That way they can stay right where they need to be. So that is how I organize this and keep this in sync. That way it's very easy to find what I need. So I'm going to put this to the side and go through our other box. Alright, so this is our other box here. This is from the retail version game box. And in here I have my instruction booklets. So we have instruction booklet for Barricade mode, the rule book, and the quest book. Next, we have our board. And then here we have all our game board pieces. So right here we have our damage chit and bag, so we'll have to take those out. We also have two heroes there. And then I have our other heroes right here. So it fits really nicely right there. And then we also have our dungeon tiles. And then these are set up per the dungeon that they're involved in. So for like the air temple here, I have the air temple, water temple, fire temple, all the temples right there ready to go. So there's quite a few of those. And then we have our wilderness cards, or tiles. And then we have our barricade mode dungeons, or layers. So, and they are set up in their difficulty order. So we have Smorga, Death Sentinel, Orgrim's Lair, Guardian of the Sun's Lair. I'm not going to go after him right now because his lair involves with the exclusive Quest 2, which I'm going to be getting next year, so I want to save that for when I get that. And now we have the Hive Mind's Lair solo mode, and then we also have Hive Mind's Lair co-op mode. So we need to grab the co-op, and we'll put that to the side. There's also Marcel's Lair and Baylock's Lair. Now, since we're doing a co-op with myself and my wife, we need to grab two player boards, which are at the very bottom, so we will grab those. So we will put the rest of the tile, or the Guardian tiles back. We will put one of the Wilderness tiles back. And now we need to figure out which tiles we need for this dungeon. So how do we figure that out? Well, we first need to figure out which dungeon we're going in, and we've decided the Hive's Mind. So we need to go to the quest booklet here, to What Lies Beneath, because that is the Hive's Mind's quest line. And then you can see right here how it is set up. So we're going to follow this setup right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab those specific tiles, and would you know it, they're on top here. So Junction, Rat Nest, Ghoul Nest, Trog Village, Catacombs, and Arches. So we'll grab those 6 tiles and put the rest back into the box. And we'll come back to this booklet in a moment. Now on the left here, I have 2 foams to keep them nice and tight, but we also have the marketplace put on here. I forget what it's called. And it has the epic mode and a campaign mode. We won't need it this time, but we will need the barricades, and there should be 5 here total. So we'll grab those. And then we also need our prestige classes. So Michaela will want Arcane Order. And then I will grab, there's quite a few here. And for right now, I'm going to grab the Duelist, but I may change my mind. We also need to grab our heroes, so I'm going to be this champion, and then Michaela will grab this one. We'll put this marker back in the box. We will put this item back in as well, and that's all we need to do for right now. So we can also put this away along with the two rule books, but we'll keep the Barricade one still up. So we will cover this up and I'll get it away. Alright, so now that we've got the pieces that we need to go ahead and set up the board. So let's go ahead and put the board down. And we need to put it on the side that is for the Barricade mode. So the Guild's Quarter here, when you level up a hero this turn, you may level up 2 different heroes instead. And also the sticker here, you can draw a card, give one, and everything is going to be blank. So this is my choice for Barricade mode. And then we will put the barricades on the red side to show that they are inactive. Guild's Quarter here, level up a village. Here, if you level up a hero in the village this turn, you can be level up spoils instead. Temple, the bazaar, and the marketplace. Next, we need to put the dungeon together. So we have the wilderness right here. And we'll put this box to the side as well. And I'm going to slide this over. So we have the wilderness. And then we need to put this dungeon room together as how this is. And I set it up, I'm organized to where I know the top tile always goes to the left first. And now we put the layer. Now there's 2 sides to this. We have the hive mind and the layer. The layer goes on top first. That is when you flip it. If you get confused, start with the 1. Now with that, you will need to put the piece, the purple marker piece, on the 1 to show that it is round 1. We will also need to put our player mats on each side. So I'm going to move this again here. And put those in the middle here for the time being. I like to put my champions in the bazaar to start with, and I can always move them whenever the game starts. So we will put our prestige classes and our player boards to the side here. And then we will also need to put our potions, lanterns, and whatnot onto it as well. So let me put those on real quick. Alright, so now that we've put the potions on, I'm still going to work the camera angle. This is probably not going to most likely not how I'm going to start the game with, but leaving it there for now. I like to put my potion chips just in this holder right here. You can leave it to the side if you don't have this tray. And then we also have this dice tray right here as well. We can put it to the side however we want. I personally like to have the 6-sided dice nearby as well. I usually put on the bottom of the board here. Alright, so now, the most important part, how do we set up the dungeon? How do we set up the marketplace? Heroes? What do we choose? How do we go about choosing that? Well, if we look into the rule book here, we get to find out how we do that. Right here, it says for 2 players or more, we take 1 Breeze Septum, 1 Joba, and 2 Thunderstone pieces and remove the Lantern's Thunderstone shards. So we take those 4 cards out, put these 4 in. Now, if we were doing solo, it says use fewer stacks of cards in the village, 2 heroes and 4 marketplace stacks of any variety. So any variety means we can choose that. So let's say we were doing a solo mode, and we were doing the Hive Mind here, and I had a choice of these 4 heroes, these 3 items, these 3 weapons, and these 2 spells. Now, for me, I would like to have it all in the same quest. However, there are 3 different scenarios in this quest. So if I want to choose 1 hero in one scenario, another hero in the other, and then 2 from the last, you could definitely do that. In fact, you can use any hero from anyone. I would just, me personally, for the first time through, am going to stick with the thematic or the theme of the quest and use the hero specifically for the quest line. Now you can choose whatever ones you want to. I am just going off of this one. So I would choose for solo mode, let's go with Wiltrin and Regolin. So I would grab those 2 heroes and put them out here. And I would put them right here, just to have a little room on the side there. And then, how I would choose my next cards is based on my hero. So with 2 wizards out for heroes, I would want to have cards on the marketplace that help them. So Bracers of Cleansing has a magic attack and helps with gaining light and getting rid of festerings. And then you have Wand of Illumination. It gives you lantern tokens if you have wizards or clerics. So you would want to look at those cards to get them. Now, we probably wouldn't want a broadsword because the skill is way too high to get it. And the battle pick is also kind of high unless you get some skill help to help you wield those. Cleansing Net has 1 skill to use, so that could be useful. And then Acid Burst and Haste, those might be good because you have wizards. So Acid Burst would go really well with Regolin and along with Wand of Illumination. So I would choose for solo at least those 3 ones and then 1 more on top of that to help you out a little more. For the monsters, it says right there which 3 monsters to use. Now, as per how we're setting up here, you could choose these monsters as well. You could choose these monsters as well, but I'm sticking with 1 scenario to choose all of my cards. So, for co-op here, it's very simple. All I have to do is pick up those cards. So I need a Wiltrin, which is going to be in the very back of my cards here. So this is Wiltrin. After Wiltrin is discarded from your deck, you may buy 1 potion token. So Cleric, he will go right there. And next is Graham Crawford. So I need to find G, and it's right there. I mean, it's very simple to go find them. So this is what he looks like. Next we have Uvina the Delver. And then finally we have Regolin. And he is right here. Now we need to find our items. So braces of cleansing, never-ending rope spool, and wand of illumination. So this is wand of illumination. And you can see why I would want to choose that for solo mode to go with Raglan and Wiltrin, because they both become wizards and they're both clerics, so I would get that token. So you're looking for synergy with all of these cards of what works best for you to try to defeat the dungeon, defeat the Guardian. I'm looking for Never-Ending Spool, which is a pretty good one. A little bit of text, but it's really good. And finding bracers of cleansing. Next we need our weapons, broadsword here. Oh no, sorry, not a broadsword, bastard sword. We need a bastard sword here. And also a cleansing net, or cleaner's net. Very effective against the vermin and swarms. See, where's the bed? Here we go. This is a really good card to level up your fighters that are humans. I'll put that over there. And then we also need the battle pick. So now we're kind of seeing cards that discard cards from your deck, but it's actually helpful because then you can gain certain abilities by discarding them, which is really cool because now you're seeing more of how the deck builders work and how it's more of a big thing to really build your deck to how you want it to help you with those discards. Now I'm looking for Acid Burst here, which is actually my first one in my row. And this is really crucial for wizards. And then we also have Haste. I don't think I've ever used this spell before, but it's pretty good. Alright, now we have our monsters. So the Plague Rats. And the Plague Rats, their separator card has that level 1, which I love. I hope they do that for all of them that are coming out now. These Plague Rats, they're all Plague Rats, but they have different abilities on them. So we throw that in the Monster 1 deck, or level 1 pile. Sewer Trogs. So we got a few different cards here. It goes to the level 2s. And then level 3, we have the Waste Worms. There's a giant centipede for sure. Purple Worm. Spectral Worm. Ugh. So, really like the art. I really like the art in these cards. And now, we don't need the Guardian card because we have the Guardian Lair. Now, if you wanted to, you could grab a Guardian Guide, which are these cards right here. Look for the Hive's Mind. and this information is exactly what is on the layer. So if you wanted to turn this card over, then it would be the exposed, so that you don't have to always look and look around the table and whatnot. It's just nice and easy right there to have. So I might have that on my side, just so I don't have to look over there to see what the effects are. We need to grab the festering wounds and diseased wounds and put them up here. I like to throw them right here. You could throw them over here, but I just throw them right there. It gives a little more room for the champions if you're playing, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. And we don't need guardian keys. You don't need side quest. You're not going to really have time for that. You'll bring out the treasure cards. You throw them right there. And you can bring out the guild sponsorships. So Mikhail and I will choose which guild sponsorships to have on our team. And we've got quite a few here. Thieves Guild is pretty good. Mages Guild's pretty good. So we'll go over through that. So that's something that we'll have to talk about and our strategy going into this game. And obviously we do need 2 player decks. So player 1 and player 2. And I like to put the lanterns and Thunderstone shards on the front so that I know that I need to exchange those for the cards that are required. So we'll put those cards on the side. Look for our Barricade cards. We don't need the Thunderstone staffs because it's not solo, otherwise we would. We grab a Brace Septum and a Jova and 2 Thunderstone pieces for me. And then the same for Michaela. And then we will put these cards back as well. And I believe that is all that's what it is to set up for Barricade mode. Now just remember, if you're going solo, which I do occasionally do, it's 4 cards in the marketplace, 2 in the hero spot of your choice. It specifically says that of any variety. So it's not limiting you at all. If you want to try out different heroes, even though they don't go with the quest line, that is perfectly fine. I'm all for it. I will probably do that too, because I will probably try like a Lyncha and Silverhelm duo and just go heavy combat and see how much damage I can give. So once I'm done with that, I will put the tray that belonged in the Barricade box back in the box, and then I will put the rule books, or at least one rule book, on that in case I need it for any questions that I have about Barricade. And that is it. So what will happen is that we will shuffle up, and then we will get right into our playthrough. So if you have any questions about it, go ahead and throw them in the comments below. Be happy to say what they are and clarify any questions that you have. So thank you, and get ready to go after the Hive Mind.